Mario Kart Wii Time Trials is dominated by three vehicles: the Flame Runner, the Spear, and the Mach Bike. The big three. Well, more like a big 2.5. The Mach Bike only has 6 world records. It's like a big 3 of Kobe, Shaq, and Robert Ory. Anyway, aside from the three, there's a couple other vehicles that have world records in this game, namely the Magic Cruiser, the Flame Flyer on Rainbow Road, or like the Quacker, and it's usually because of a category specific thing. But here's the thing, every one of those vehicle character combinations is the fastest vehicle character combination for their given category, which is boring, and it also hasn't always been that way. So today we're going to take a look at world records in the past that were set with weird vehicle character combinations. Starting things out on Mushroom Gorge, we're going to have a 47.980 set by Alex P with the Dolphin Dasher. The Dolphin Dasher is a vehicle in this game similar to the Magic Cruiser, where it has really good off-road and not much else, but it doesn't have quite as good off-road as the Magic Cruiser, so it doesn't beat it on Sherbet Land, and it's still slow, so it's kind of hard for this thing to get a world record. But for a very, very brief amount of time in the Mushroom Gorge glitch category's history, people found it easier to use the Dolphin Dasher because they would often land in the off-road after doing the glitch. So by using the Dolphin Dasher, they won't have to slow down as much. And you know what's funny about this run? They don't even hit the off-road very much, so I don't know why they used the Dolphin Dasher. It didn't really matter too much because the world record wasn't optimized yet. Just a funny little note. Staying on Mushroom Gorge, going to the no glitch category, we go to the only ever Sneakster world record. So the Spear on Mushroom Gorge is actually pretty good, and it took until about mid 2009 for people to consistently start using the Bowser Bike for Mushroom Gorge world records no glitch. Similar to how the Dolphin Dasher is a light version of the Magic Cruiser, the Sneakster is a light version of the Spear. Because Mushroom Gorge is just oddly good for the Sneakster, Japanese player M was able to get the world record with it in 2011. Think about that. 2011 wasn't like in early days, like people still trying to figure out which vehicle is the best kind of world record. It's refined. It had been a Funky Kong Flame Runner world record for like 2 years, and then M comes out of nowhere and gets the only Sneakster world record. Super random world record. Let's move on. Going to Coconut Mall Glitch, we've got 2 world records to talk about. It's one of 2 bullet bike records, which are probably never going to come back. It was used for a new glitch entry in 2023, where you just skip going inside the mall altogether. But nowadays, it's done with Daisy Mach Bike. Or is it? Well, a year later, after that bullet bike record was set, Beanzard64 came in, did the record with the Mach Bike, and not just Daisy Mach Bike, he did it with Birdo. 2 things. First, this is the only Birdo world record in the game, like, period. And 2, he ended Breakson's reign on Coconut Mall Glitch that he had had since 2016. That's like 30 years. April 13th, 2008 was a big day in Mario Kart Wii. That day, German player MKR Roy03 set 3 back-to-back-to-back Jetsetter world records. A three-peat. I'm pretty sure these are the only Jetsetter world records. The one I'm showing you right now is the best out of the 3. It's a 159.416. And not only that, but MKR Roy was also the first person to sub 2 minutes on Wario's Gold Mine, and he used the Jetsetter. So there's a fun fact for you. The first sub 2 minute time on Wario's Gold Mine was set with the Jetsetter. Honestly, I'm just ashamed in humanity for letting this be the fastest time in the world. What were we doing here? How did we let this beat everyone? The next set on Wario's Gold Mine no glitch is the only Spear world record in the track's history. It was set about a week after the Jetsetter's reign of terror. You see, on a couple tracks, it took people a few days to realize that the Flame Runner is the best vehicle, and you can tell when you're looking through the world record history when they figure that out, because the Flame Runner will get the world record and just never look back. But on Wario's Gold Mine, the transition between Funky Kong Flame Flyer and Flame Runner is interrupted by one super random Spear world record, and I don't have any footage of it, but it's on MarioKartWorldRecords.com. It happened, guys. And to round out Wario's Gold Mine on the glitch category, we're going to talk about Mr. Bean's longest standing world record ever. You've probably seen this one before, not going to dwell too long on it. Legacy, Aura, Legendary status, and he was the one who beat it after like 100 years of its standing. Next up is the first Mach Bike world record on Maple Tree Way. It's a 2:11.957 by Sword. German player Marv got the world record with the Mach Bike later that day too, but those are the only 2 Mach Bike world records in the whole category. Maple Tree Way Glitch has some funny characters used. Usually it's just the Spear whenever someone's playing it, but then Troy used his Mii. After Troy was beat by Justin, Justin also used his Mii. And ever since then, it's been Funky Kong Spear. Boring. Next up is Grumble Volcano glitch, and we've got a run that I really want to talk about. So the run you're looking at right now is a 35998 set by Alvin using Baby Daisy Blue Falcon automatic. I have actually no idea what prompted this vehicle character selection, and let me explain really quick. So this is not the first run to use the Grumble Volcano glitch. It's also not the first 3 for 3 glitch time on Grumble Volcano. And it's also not the first 3 for 3 glitch time set by Alvin. So what is this time? Well, you've probably seen it because it's the first 3 for 3 Grumble Volcano glitch world record that's recorded. So this world record was set in the midst of June 1st, 2008. Let me tell you something about this day. 18 world records were set this day on Grumble Volcano glitch. It was the day that people were figuring out how to do the glitch 3 for 3 in runs, and people were experimenting with vehicles that had good handling. And the Blue Falcon's handling sucks, so I don't know what he was thinking there. But because he decided to use the Blue Falcon one day, that makes it the only Blue Falcon world record in Grumble Volcano history. Also check this out, the video with Alvin's record ends with this black box just taking over the screen. Cinema. But what might be even cooler is a world record set just 3 days later on June 4th by Yo Man, which is one of 2 Sugar Scoot world records ever set. Now, unlike the Baby Daisy Blue Falcon world record, this one is so clean. The Sugar Scoot actually has really good handling and really good acceleration, so it makes sense to use it here. It's not quite as good as the Zip Zip, but you know, we're not there yet, so give it some slack. Yo Man actually got a Sugar Scoot world record on that crazy June 1st day when everyone was trying to get the world record, but he later reclaimed it 3 days later with this time the 22.138, and that was it. The Sugar Scoot hasn't gotten a world record since. Next, I want to talk about Moonview Highway. What you're watching right now is a 143.648 by PF Paul. It was set using Funky Kong Spear on automatic, which sounds like a really weird combination, but it's actually not that bad for time trials. But what is mind-blowing, and something that I actually didn't know until researching this video, this run is from 2014. This is not an early days caveman run. This is refined. A feature of automatic drift that you might not know is that you can turn in your wheelie without losing any speed, and many times throughout this run you have to turn to weave through the cars. So it makes it easy to see why you want to use Spear automatic. I just had no idea that this was the case all the way up till 2014. Moving to Bowser's Castle Wii no glitch, we're gonna have a 223.728 set by Brendan using Rosalina Bowser Bike. This run was highlighted in Enmead's iconic world records video, so might want to go check that out if you want to learn more about this record. But in short, Rosalina was used here because she's actually a pretty good character in this game. Funky Kong gives a +4 speed bonus, Rosalina gives a +3, so she's really close behind. And furthermore, Rosalina actually has a better mini turbo stat than Funky Kong does. And since Bowser's Castle Wii has tons of turns where you can get lots of mini turbos, on pretty much every single one of those turns, Rosalina was gaining time, albeit by a few extra frames of mini turbo, but it's enough time to get a world record. And a Rosalina Flame Runner time wasn't uncommon here. There are plenty other Rosalina world records, but this was the last remaining one. Moving on to the final Nitro, we've got the Rainbow Road glitch, where we actually have the only current world record on this list. British player WX Core got a 124.382, which has yet to be beaten, using the Phantom. If you know anything about the Phantom, then you would know it's considered the worst vehicle in the game. So how did it get a world record? The Rainbow Road Ultra Shortcut is a really inconsistent glitch where you have to bounce off this fence using an outside drift bike. Originally, people used the Shooting Star because it's considered one of the better outside drift bikes. It has good speed, good drift, things like that. But later, players found that the Phantom is way more consistent on the glitch, so they started using the Phantom instead. But the problem is, you still have to drive lap 3, and the Phantom's not going to beat the Shooting Star. So come lap 3, Core decides to do the Kart shortcut to save a little bit of time over the Shooting Star, and he ended up with the world record despite using the Phantom. Next, we're going to start with the retros. We're going to Mario Raceway. You're looking at a 141.624 set by Japanese player Naki in 2017. Now, why is this so weird? It uses Daisy Mach Bike, which is one of the big 3 vehicles that I talked about, but what's crazy is that Mario Raceway's world record history has been Funky Kong Flame Runner since like 3 days after the game released. Now, the Mach Bike has always been good here. It's not like it was completely random, but it's also the only Mach Bike record in the track's history. And I know there's some of you thinking about another weird world record on Mario Raceway that was set with the Dolphin Dasher, Jetsetter. That was a shroomless world record, and I'm not talking about world records that aren't a no glitch, glitch, or shortcut category today. So if you're wondering why I didn't mention this when I talked about the quote-unquote only Dolphin Dasher world record on Mushroom Gorge, that's why. Moving on, we got GBA Battle Course 3, better known as BC3, and what you're looking at right now is the only bullet bike world record in BC3 history. If you remember what I said about Bowser's Castle Wii, where Rosalina was used because she had slightly better mini turbo, that similarly applies here. The bullet bike has the best mini turbo in the game, and there's a lot of 90-degree corners where a lot of mini turbo is helpful. And because of that, the bullet bike is actually not so bad here, but at the same time, this world record was set using the bullet bike, mainly because it was easier to do the newly discovered and implemented ultra shortcut. Well, it wasn't newly discovered, but newly used ultra shortcut in world record runs. It's lighter than the mock bike, so people found it a bit easier to do the ultra with this vehicle as compared to the mock bike, which did not last long. And then the mock bike got replaced with the Flame Runner. I swear, it all just ends in Flame Runner. Next is DK's Jungle Parkway with Sam F's 156.942 with the Spear. This is one of only 3 Spear world records on DK's Jungle Parkway, and they all came back to back to back, yet another three-peat. This run is the fastest of the 3, and I just think it's crazy that the Spear has a world record on DK's Jungle Parkway, because besides maybe DK Mountain, this could be the worst spear track in the game. He did the glitch on lap 1 and then drove lap 2 and 3 normally, and I just know driving laps 2 and 3 must have been hell, bro. DK's Jungle Parkway with the Spear is a nightmare, and you can tell Sam F is so nervous, bro. The camera is shaking constantly. Let's move on to Peach Beach. Did I say Peach Beach? I meant Peach Gardens, and Peach Gardens is unique because, like what I mentioned about Moonview Highway, it was a Spear auto track for a long time. Too bad we're not talking about that today. We're going to talk about the only mock bike world record here, set by a Japanese player. He got it with Me Outfit 1-2, which is just so iconic. And it's a 209. I think my dog could drive a 209. That's really not that great, and yeah, I mean, it was an early 2008 world record, so it makes sense. But I wanted to highlight it because it's the only mock bike world record in Peach Gardens history. Next, we've got a much less insignificant world record. Biohazard's 209.110 on DK Mountain. This is another iconic world record that was highlighted by Nmead in a video, and similar to Mushroom Gorge's Sneakster world record, this one came out of nowhere. Karts were actually pretty good on DK Mountain until they get phased out in mid-2008 or so, kind of like what happened to a lot of tracks. But then, out of nowhere, Biohazard comes in and steals this world record out of the blue. If you look at the world record history, it's really funny. There's just a sea of mock bike times, and then Biohazard's Wild Wing, and then it's just mock bike ever since. What's more random, this run or a Andre Iguodala Finals MVP? I'll let you decide in the comments. Finally, we're gonna end on Bowser's Castle 64 with a 231.390 set by Canadian player Yasha. Aside from a short period in 2009 where the world record used the mock bike, RBC was a Flame Runner track through and through. That was until Russo X stole the world record back with the mock bike in 2016, a full 6-year hiatus, which had been beaten again by the Flame Runner until Yasha set a mock bike world record in 2008. Since then, Yasha's time was beaten, and it's still a Flame Runner track today, but hey, 2 random mock bike world records thrown into the world records history. Love it. And that's all the weird world records that I've got to talk about today. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you've got some more weird world record recommendations, that's a mouthful to say, that you want to bring up with me, go to the comments and let me know. Stay safe, stay cute, stay loyal, cause I already know y'all are. And goodbye.